flag football the rest of the club now, so we're starting to pay it, so I don't have to deal with it.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
To today's August 30th meeting. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by myself. One Verse of America by Dominic Sakari. The Invocation by Don Sherman. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. My country 'tis the peace, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring.
Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who bringeth forth bread from the earth. Amen.
We have the Secretary's report, please.
Absolutely. Today we have in attendance 14 members, no visiting Rotarians or guests, so total 14.
I don't think so.
Fines and happy dollars.
I have 40 happy dollars. Last week, May and I celebrated 40 years of marital bliss.
Wow.
Wow, thank you.
That's President Spencer.
I'll throw in 20 happy dollars. I got to spend the last 2 weeks up at the lake. My toes are very sad. The first time they've had to be in shoes for 2 weeks. I was in flip-flops and shorts, and it was nice weather, and the kids now are wake surfers and want me to buy a Mastercraft boat, which is not happening anytime soon.
I'll tell you, past President Spencer, I saw your shoes, but the first time you had them was someone similar to that, and I went and bought a pair. Very
Yeah.
solid.
There you go.
Don't have one today, but
He is a trendsetter.
I have 20 happy dollars because in a little over a week I'll be having my students come back and we'll be all in the same classroom, all 17 of us, 16 students myself, rather than half of us at a screen at home and half of us in class. So I'm really pleased about that.
thank you.
I have fine dollars. I'm fining myself. I was sorry that I missed President Frank's barbecue, but I heard it was a great success. Everyone had a great time.
It was good. You were missed.
Past President?
I actually have 5 happy dollars because I did get to go to the barbecue, and as usual, they did a great job, so thank you again, President Frank.
Don't pretend now.
I have 10 happy dollars. Past President and Secretary Frank's cookout was absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
How much am I going down there for?
And
5.
President, I'll also put $5 in for past President Frank, Present Secretary Frank. The party was phenomenal. It was really, really good. Beautiful evening. Everybody had fun. The mixing was fantastic. Everybody got to speak with everybody. And it made my wife Pam really happy to be able to come in and just, you know, she knew everyone, so it was really, really nice. She doesn't come to our meetings, so nice for Pam to thank you. Thank you, Frank.
Next. Sergeant Elms, did you have your hand up? 1 second.
Just waiting to go well.
Thank you, sir. You're welcome.
So I have 20 happy dollars to, number one, apologize for missing the barbecue after work, sorry. And I had a great weekend. I went to New York and watched Bruce Springsteen on Broadway.
Nice.
Was it awesome?
It was awesome. Great seats. You got center row, third row in the balcony, 50 feet away. It was perfect. You should do it.
Any further?
Oh, fines?
Yes.
So I want to thank everyone.
Put
putting your food orders in promptly this week. It really helps out tremendously, because then once they're in, I don't have to worry about anything. Except when they're put in at the 11th hour on a Sunday night, the day before,
Who would that be?
Who did
the
that?
day before the meeting, Megan. I fined Megan $2 for
Sorry about that.
being late.
Thank you for getting me my chicken salad. It was so
Not a
good.
problem. I made it myself.
I'll remember, do it right when you get the email. Don't wait.
Is that why you got
You ready for
chicken
it?
last night, past president? Again?
Okay, moving on to announcements. Past President Spencer would like to make an announcement.
Sure. On the opposite side of doing stuff last minute, when I got relieved of duties, I was able to present Paul Harris to Cleve, and I had a second one, and she was not able to make it. So Megan, this is your second Paul Harris. I really wanted to thank you for all the work you did when I was president, with the food bank, and with the barbecues. And so now you're a +1.
That's so nice.
Congratulations.
Fantastic.
See, it was worth the $2.
Thank you so much.
So second Vice President Megan can point the tape.
Yeah, ups and downs.
Congratulations. Thank you, Spencer. On to announcements. Actually, Megan up again. She'd like to speak briefly about the senior barbecues.
Yes, we have our senior barbecues coming up, barring any unforeseen incidents with whatever, if they shut anything down. But, so they are the September 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, just like we usually do. We love it if everybody can come, for one of the nights and help out. Past President Jim is doing the food for Brookhaven again. It's pretty much a seamless thing. So as long as everybody shows up, we should be good.
You gonna send out an email with ways to choose to sign up or what?
Yes, I will do that. That should be something we do. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you.
So, as long as we don't stay outside, we shouldn't be masked, but if
Right.
people are going in to the dining rooms, we should bring them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say everybody bring
That's a
them
good idea.
just in case, and
Yeah.
hopefully we'll have good weather and be outside, but
Let's hope.
we'll see.
Yeah, especially because we will be serving, obviously. So
Right,
we
yeah,
should-
maybe we'll be buying them anyways,
Anyway,
whatever
because
everybody decides, so it's fine with me.
By the way, I just wanted to let the club know that if anybody feels that they are entitled to a third vaccine dose, that you can sign up now on CVS. There are forms to fill out, and they give you an appointment, all done online. It takes a little while. You need your Medicare card or your insurance card, so they get the numbers in. They ask you whether you're immunocompromised or not, and I found out it didn't seem to matter. I decided on my own from the literature I've read that when you reach 85, you're immunocompromised anyway. And they accepted it, and I'm scheduled for vaccine in another week. So if anybody wants to get the third shot, this is your chance to do it before the crowd really pounds into it.
Thank you very much. That's very informative, because obviously it's something that, if you want to get it, having the in like that is good information. So thank you so much for that. Discovery Day is October 9th. The hours are going to be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Our Sergeant at Arms, Alan, is going to be there. He's graciously offered to assist in kind of the coordination as far as we're looking for volunteers.
We'll need people to man the booth. I have my booth, so I'll manage the Rotary booth as well, make sure it gets set up. I will need people there at 9 to help set up. Setup is done at 10, the whole thing opens and starts. It will be closed at 3. So anybody, everybody, you can work half the day, the whole day, whatever you want.
Saturday the 9th.
I'm sorry?
Saturday the 9th.
Saturday the 9th. So let us know.
Discovery Day.
We also, I had told you, we have, this acquaintance of mine has this unbelievable motorcycle that he's been bringing twice before to events that have been rained out. So he's coming, and he's gonna park between my booth and the Rotary booth, and it'll be pretty cool. It will be the biggest attraction there, I assure you. And so we're gonna get a lot of people around it. So I think it'll be good for us to have a presence. Dominic, do we still have stuff?
I have some boutonnieres, I have some propaganda brochures and whatnot.
Marketing.
I knew that would get you.
I have here, Frank and I did that a few
Admittedly,
years ago,
that was
but we
Russia.
should just update the names of the things, I can take care of that. And print
I do have the boutonnieres, and I may have some rubber bracelets as well, the little
Whatever tchotchkes you got.
That's
let
all
me
we
know.
have. They're in my office, and I'll gladly bring them over.
Okay.
Do you still have those hats? You have the hats still?
We do. Dan, you still got a bunch of hats.
Yep.
I probably have.
I do.
I got one
I haven't,
box of them.
forgot to give you that.
And I still have the face painting things, which I think we'll never use, but
No, we don't need
I
it.
have those, so.
No, there's gonna be,
But we'll never do
definitely
that
we
ever
should,
again.
do we have big Rotary banners? The big plastic ones?
Yep.
Because there's gonna be a lot of pictures taken of that motorcycle.
Get it right behind.
Yeah.
So thank you much in advance for participation on that. It's actually just handed a thank you letter from the Battle Green Run Foundation from Bob Burridge, who's been a long-time organizer and name around Lexington, just thanking us for his support, actually thanking Dan for coordinating that, for our support to the Lexington Rotary Club, for helping them out.
Means I wrote a check.
Yes. Thank you. Once again, raffle gifts are desperately needed for us.
Yes, we have almost no more raffle gifts. I still have some of Spencer's,
Draw water ones. I was gonna say I have another case of those I can give you, but.
well, feel free.
Alright,
But if you have anything, we'd love to have it.
And I think we ran out of the Starbucks mugs from 2 years ago.
There's still a couple in there. I try not to give everything away all the
You got
time.
so many for God's sake. She's got a museum.
And one of the last things on our announcements, actually shouldn't be the last thing, probably should be the first thing, is I want to thank Frank for once again graciously hosting our annual cookout, as he always does. The food was great, the weather was great, and it was all good social amongst us to kind of relax, put our ear down a little bit, so those of us who back in there.
Just gonna say.
And just kind of enjoy ourselves. So once again, thank you for hosting.
Thank you, we had a good time.
Anything further? Announcements or? Okay. So moving on, today's raffle gifts were given by Brain Injury Associations, past President Don Martini, Lexington Rotary Club, and Bill Cassell.
Blue tickets. Whoa. We got them, right?
Yes.
All right. 899.
I've got it.
Nice.
What's this?
We'll mail it to them.
Where are the choices?
Nice options over here.
Can he take it before we find out his billing clip? 096.
Ooh, that's probably
That's
higher.
close. I got 195.
I got 097.
096? 096? Do they have any hairspray up there?
They have this nice, this is like a body spray, it looks like, I have no
All
idea.
right, take it, really.
I can't imagine where that came from.
It was found in the lost and found.
137.
137 is for my daughter.
137? 137?
No, Martine.
137, I have 137.
There you go.
Last but never least, 125. 125? Nice. Nice.
Thank you for it, Carmen.
What is this anyway?
Oh, you want that, good.
I give it away anyway, so I never keep my things, so someone's gonna have this.
All right. Lose and lose.
Okay, moving on to our speaker for today. I know it's going to be very entertaining and interesting. Past President Murray, would you like to introduce our speaker, please?
President Cleve, excuse me. So I'm gonna, Rotary Club Discovery Day on the end of the block. We do the same thing Bill does, I write things down about it. So, before I introduce Bill, he really doesn't need an introduction, but just to be formal. If anybody here would like to present a classification talk, please feel free to do so. We're short on speakers, and our next meeting, which is September 13th, so that's a week after Labor Day, of course. I just got a notice from our speaker that she may not be able to be able to do it. So on the 13th, I will not be here, by the way. Pam and I are going to be up in Vermont for a few days, but I'll leave it up to somebody else, President Cleve, to introduce the speaker. But so we don't have anybody. So I'm going to inform President Cleve later today or sometime in the middle of this week. If we don't have a speaker, maybe somebody would like to volunteer to give classification talk. If not, and we don't have a speaker, we just don't have a speaker. We're trying as hard as we can. But sometimes you're right to the speakers. President Cleve has been really gracious enough to give me a whole bunch of people, but they're not answering. And it might be because it's the summertime, and they're all kind of busy with things. We're just rounding up the summer now, and after Labor Day, maybe everybody will be back, and we'll start hearing from some of these really interesting people that President Cleve would like to speak at our club. He's made a lot of connections for us and for me personally to line up these people, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So today, we have past President Bill Cassell. Everybody knows Bill's history. He's been really educated so well at Harvard with undergrad, and then he went to got his MBA there too at the Harvard Graduate School for Business Administration. And the other thing is that he decided to go into education. So what did he do? He went to my wife's school. Dan, past President.
What about the University of the United States Marine Corps?
And yes, the University of the United States Marine Corps. And this man has got fantastic leadership skills. And thank you, Bill, for also serving the country that way. So anyhow, after getting his formal education, Bill decided he wanted to go into education himself. And so he decided, after working, I think, was it for the Beacon Company, was it? Yep.
Minuteman, Lexington Minuteman.
Lexington Minuteman. He had a big position in charge of production, etc. Bill can better explain it, but he's got a wonderful history, and we were lucky enough that he came to Rotary and joined Rotary out of that. And then Bill decided it was time to do something else, and so he decided he wanted to get into education. Got his master's degree in education from Lesley University, I believe it was, same school that my wife Pam went to, great little college, and decided that he was going to become a grade school teacher. And Bill is so innovative. We need more people like this, and I want to thank him so much for offering to speak on his expertise. As one of his favorite things is getting people to innovate, to think independently and think critically. And these kids are so lucky. I only wish that all of us had a teacher in grade school with doing what Bill is doing presently. So without any further delay, I'd like to bring up Bill Cassell.
Okay, I'm going to take off my mask so you can see my facial features. Very important part of teaching has to do with seeing the full face. You may not know it, but the wavelengths, the color wavelengths that your eye picks up were determined in order to read the faces of people, getting that slight bluish or reddish, so you can understand if someone's upset or sick, a child needs something, face will signal. In any case, I I am going to do a 15-minute, this was what the last 20 years in teaching has meant for me. Currently, our educational focus is on teaching the core academic subjects with which we are all familiar with, and they run lengthwise through grades K through 12. These are, English language arts, math, science and technology or engineering, history, social studies, so on. Most of our school hours are spent teaching those core academic subjects, and yet that core content is only one of 6 important objectives in a mission statement of my North Reading Public Schools. So one is to make sure they know the core curriculum objectives. They should learn all that. Here are the other things in the mission statement. Lifelong learning skills. Collaborative work skills. Creative and critical thinking. These are listed right with those core curriculums. Development of individual potential. And last but not least, as we call it, the elephant in the classroom, 21st century skills. So that students will thrive in an unknown future. We don't know what jobs they're going to have. Those jobs may not have even been created. We've seen a lot of the hands-on kind of building things jobs disappear. The good news is that the Massachusetts Department of Education has done a wonderful job detailing what students should know and be able to do in relation to each academic subject area as they progress through the grades. Beautiful. And I'll tell you right now, having a diverse collection of durable, retrievable, transferable core academic memories, science, math, history, are really important, since creative thinking and problem solving relies on these memories. You go and you pull them out while you're doing problems. The reason I'm reading this is because I had to shorten this to be able to get everything into my 15 minutes. This is like the 14th draft, as I tightened it down. Okay, the bad news. So you got the good news. They've given us a lot of detail as to what we're supposed to teach in those core subjects. There are about 7 of them. All right? The bad news is we spend most of our time teaching the core academic curriculum and hopefully assuming that the other objectives in the mission statement, things like 21st century skills, will somehow develop in the process of teaching those core subjects. Given that there are only so many hours in a school year, I wondered how we might add that critical non-core academic learning without sacrificing the important core academic information. How could we do that? Seeing the extraordinary intellectual synergy that can occur when students integrate the non-core learning with the core curriculum gave me an idea. Why don't we think of education, K through 12, as a fabric woven from the core content objectives and all these other ones that haven't been addressed, and weave it like that. Why not? Well, a fabric is composed of warp and weft threads that are woven together in an environment that supports weaving. You can't weave underwater or underground. The warp threads run the length of the fabric, and the weft threads continually weave back and forth across the warp threads. Almost there. Let's try to imagine a K through 4 education as a fabric where we weave a host of critical and as yet largely untaught topics the weft threads back and forth through the core academic subjects that span the K through 12. Here are some missing weft threads. Now here, what we want to do here, for instance, for those of you who have difficulty imagining how that piece of fabric was made, we're going to be doing this in 3rd grade and creating potholders. They're going to decide that maybe the orange will be matte, and so on. And then we'll give them all sorts of other colors to address these other things, like a belief in growth mindset. I'm not going to go into the details what these are, but this one says, I think I can. My brain can grow. Now, just to show you, because in 3rd grade, you've got to give them concrete. You may recall that 2 weeks ago, and unfortunately she's not here, I plucked a brain out of, I think it was Michelle's ear, was it?
Yeah.
He's sitting over there. I reached into her ear and popped this out. It weighs 22 grams. Okay. We then immersed it in an environment that maybe the brain would grow in. This is Michelle's brain 2 weeks after I pulled it out like this. Now, hard to believe, I know, but it's true. Now, 198 grams, 22 to 198. Your brain can grow. It really can. It's called plasticity. So, growth mindset, a development in something called epistemic curiosity. We are born curious. By 3rd grade, many children are becoming less curious. Their environment has prompted them to ask fewer questions and show less curiosity. Now that's diversive curiosity. Epistemic means the why and how rather than the what and when and who. Creative thinking and problem-solving strategies is another. Memory-making skills. Who teaches how to make memories? We know so much about the brain now, neurological nature of the brain. We can now tell you a whole series of ways to make long-term, durable, retrievable, and transferable memories. In 3rd grade, we're teaching that. Productive habits of mind, social and collaborative skills. Problem-solving, complex problems can be developed so much better if you do it in a collaborative. We're just kind of, he came up with some things I wasn't aware of when we were talking at the table. Bang! Okay. Self-managed learning. Once you get out of 12th grade, maybe you go to college, maybe you don't, but at some point in your life, you're not going to have a teacher or a parent standing there giving you questions and giving you answers. Awareness of perceptual and conceptual biases. Now, I gave you one here. That other thing is homework. Don't worry about it. We'll collect them next week. How do you take the Roman numerals I and X, and by adding only one line, get the value 6? Now, yes, we'll get to you in just a second.
I have a question. Does this line,
We were sitting here at the table, and I said, okay, how can we do it? And they were puzzling over it. You know, and that we do this in 3rd grade. Then we'll give them a clue. Now, the clue that I think I gave them was, does a line have to be straight? Roman numerals are all made with straight lines, except things like C and D. Those are curved lines. Oh, interesting. And then you puzzle over that, and then I think at this table I hummed a tune that at least many of us may have learned our alphabet by. The Twinkle Twinkle Little Star song. Na, 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 na. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V. So you hum that song and the kids all go, the alphabet. And then Don, after a little of this, what do they say? How can you make this Roman numeral 9 into a value of 6 with adding one line?
My question was to be, does this line have to be straight?
Hold on, pull down and speak out for a moment.
My question was going to be, does this line have to be straight? And you actually just answered my question.
No, it does not. Do you have an answer for how you can make that?
You just write a 6 there.
Nope.
Yes, you make a line
No,
like
you-
this.
you write a-
1 times 6
no.
is 6.
How do you make a 6 here? No.
Go stand in the corner.
You have 6, Roman numeral 9.
1 times 6 equals 6.
You're overthinking this.
Oh,
There's no equal sign.
Doesn't
No,
it?
no. But that's good outside the box thinking. Yes, Murray.
You make a curved line out of the letter S and put it in front to the left.
All you have to do is put the letter S, which is one line, it is curved. We've given you the clue that the line could be curved. We've given you the clue that the line could be a letter. And these people started going, got it, got it, got it. Each one of them said, you put an S in front of it, and now you have S-I-X. It requires you to shift gears.
I was still just looking at it like, what is this? What do you mean?
Then, so we have a whole bunch of perceptual and conceptual biases.
Hey, Bill.
Then, attention and willpower management.
I'm so sorry.
It's really important to be able to attend and manage your willpower. Then you have the experience of self-efficacy. Getting that feeling of, I can do this. If I work at it, I've had experiences, I can do this. Okay? And then finally, ways to extend, and this is just a partial list, ways to extend the mind's power to perform. I know, he mentioned a phrase that I wanted to remember, and then a book from which it came. And I know my working memory is when I walk out of here, I'll forget that. I won't remember it. So what did I do? I wrote down Expertise, Bias, and Think Again by Adam Grant. I offloaded my brain so that I would be more powerful in my thinking. So anyhow, and then we need the environment, the teaching environment. We need to best accomplish this weaving task. We need to provide a supportive physical, social, emotional environment in the classroom. Students should feel safe, cared for, secure, thanks largely to their relationships with teachers and classmates. And instructional practices should include novel opportunities to explore ideas, encourage curiosity, take academic risks, and process memories. And finally, in closing, puzzles. Why give kids these puzzles? Well, a puzzle is a game, problem, or toy that tests a person's ingenuity or knowledge and requires persistence to solve. Could I ask you to hit that side of the room? Alan, these are just a few rebuses. We're going to do this, and then we're done. And while they're being passed out, puzzles have an ending, unlike a mystery. Once you know, you put an S, I, then the I and Y, or I, the Roman numerals become letters, and you have the number 6. After you know that, there's no puzzle. So for my class, solving a puzzle is not a learning endpoint. We then explore, why was it a puzzle? Why was this puzzle a puzzle? Were we initially misled by things our brain told us? Oh, that's true. Biases. How did we solve it? How did we do it? How did we feel when we solved it? Hey, did you guys feel good when you solved it on your own, each one of you? Yeah. A puzzle becomes a valuable learning experience when students explore what made it puzzling and how they solved it. And puzzle-solving experiences can provide memorable analogies that can help students solve future real-life puzzles. Okay, so now, a rebus. We do rebuses, then this is it. So, let's see if we can solve these rebuses. A rebus is a problem or puzzle where images or words make a phrase when combined. Okay, so now we're going to look at this top one. Would you just give me a sign of some sort, like a finger in the air or something, if you know what phrase these two images might make? Yeah?
Fly ball.
Fly ball, right. Okay, and I have books of these for the kids. Let's look at the next one here. It's a bunch of letters and vertical lines. Anybody got an idea of what phrase that might be? Yes?
Reading in between the lines.
Reading in between the lines. There are lines, and the word reading is between the lines, isn't it? Okay, now this one, it's the words you, just, and me. It's a phrase. Now, Dan, you think you know it. Did this one help you? Say this phrase. Dan, the one about what? Reading between the lines. Did that help you do this one?
I don't think it helped me, but I figured it out.
Okay, what do you think that says?
Just between you and me.
What was that word you said? Just
between.
and right after just, what was that word?
Just
No, after that.
between.
And this one had in it?
Between. Between the lines.
So that is just between you and me, and the kids can see how knowing this one could help them. You know, what this just is between you and me, just like the lines are between reading. Okay? Now, this one is not a third grade one. This one I put down here for you, this one, where you have a zero and a line, and this. Oh.
0 degrees?
Okay? Does the word temperature come to mind with your answer?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
That's a clue. We try to give them clues. This must be a temperature reading.
0 degrees.
You're halfway.
0
What?
degrees.
Yes, I heard it, but that's,
Okay, we weren't
0
sure.
degrees.
but wait, what is the temperature?
3 degrees below 0. 0 degrees.
What is the temperature?
Past president actually got it.
Who's got it?
Go ahead.
That's President
You
Dan.
got it.
3 degrees below
3 degrees below zero. But he started it. That's the key. Third graders, someone will grab a piece of it and have it 3/4, and then we just have to play with it.
That's why I had so much trouble after 3rd grade.
Anyhow, thank you very much. I think I brought a little friend. This is a neuron, a brain cell, and we learn how they have little hands and feet and so forth. Anyhow, that's it. Thank you. Any questions?
Bill, I have a question.
Question?
I assume that the way you teach has not become universal in your school.
No.
And how does the clash of styles sit with other teachers politically?
Okay, I haven't been paying attention to my camera here, so I apologize. This is just evolving, this particular thing. I've been doing things a little differently, but now it's beginning to weave together as a fabric. And I did do a search and discover no one has yet written the book, The Fabric of Education. So don't anybody go write it now because but to give you an idea, when I got involved with teaching in 1992, when I carried my newborn son into the Bowman School to help out a gentleman, a teacher by the name of Steve Levy, who was teaching 4th grade at that time. And he was an unusual teacher. In 1994, he was the Massachusetts Teacher of the Year. He was phenomenal, outside the box teaching, but a lot of this stuff he'd know. He was asked to teach in all sorts of schools and locations and places, but the one place he wasn't asked to teach or to share, his own school. Why is that? I mean, there are people who are picking up on some of what I'm doing, but I don't go and proselytize either. But I may at some point. But it has to do, too, with protecting the way we've come, our bias, the way we think of teaching. We've been doing it for years, and then to have somebody point out that we've been teaching only the warp fabric and a little bit of the weft, some of us more or less, might not feel good. So there might be some pushback. So, yeah.